Public Services within the city has been working on flood fighting projects for a long time, including a master plan, and what is behind us is actually a beginning of plugging into a network of, in this case, a very fancy rain gauge that will measure precipitation that's going to be part of a flood early warning network that will benefit not only the citizens but the responders as well. We'll know how much water's coming, and we can anticipate how streams and rivers and stuff are going to rise, and that factors into the planning we do on the rescue side. But conversely, it also helps with people planning on whether they need to leave their homes if floodwaters are coming, or if they need to rearrange their travel, for instance, if they know where the trouble spots are. And eventually all of this collected data will roll up into a system where once it's overlaid with maps, it'll be a useful tool for our citizens. To date right now, as we stand here talking, there are two at two city fire stations. This one is fire station number 11, and then station 19 on the north part of town that goes back towards Fort Bragg there off Andrews Road also has a gauge exactly like this one. It's not specific to a fire station, but they look for points that have enough open space like you see behind me where the gauge can collect what it needs to, because there are certain requirements that it has. You also see that it's solar, and it has to have its little operational space so that it can do its job. You may ride by gauges every day that you don't even think about. For instance, if you go across the Person Street Bridge, there's a gauge that's monitoring the level of the river at all times. If you look on this gauge, it has the U.S. Geodetic Survey's name on there, and they're the actual owner of the gauge. But what we're doing is sharing data and keeping tabs on these bodies of water that move. Never before have we had early warning, and that's what we're trying to build that capacity out. They will eventually create sort of an online tool set where, let's say, a prospective resident that wants to choose a place in town to live, they can go to the map and look and see where there might be flood issues and hover over with their mouse over the particular locations, and that map will give them some feedback. Or let's say you're an existing homeowner, and it can help you plan for an emergency sake of when you might need to leave your home if you know a certain spot is starting to flood. And that all is on top of things that over tradition that we've always relied on, such as the farmers tracking and worrying about rain, or landscapers, or those sorts of things. I mean, ultimately it could even help you if you're thinking about redoing your grass or something in the yard. The more data, the better, and that's what we're after. There's no such thing as too much information, especially in an early warning crisis situation. If residents will go to the county website, and on their main page, there's a little icon they can click on and subscribe to the Cumberland Alerts Network, and that's a subscription-based service that will actually push warnings to their phone or device, whatever they choose and however they want to get it. We ask especially the motorists throughout the city and throughout our region, if they come across water that's covering the road, just to simply turn around, because you could lose control of your vehicle, you don't know how deep it is, and you can make a mistake that can cost your life. And we're just part of the team asking people to remember, turn around and don't drown.